Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I want to talk to you about something that was very important to Dr. Martin Luther King before he passed. It had to do with the Poor People's Campaign. And you know what became of that. Well, some strange things have happened in our country. We have seen that more people are getting a chance to experience not having stuff. Education out costs too much. You heard it talk about healthcare, crazy. And just maintaining a life, some kind of life, you have to work your butt off. I mean, you really do. And sometimes it's so tough and rough till when you have your time off, it seems as if you just want to relax to get back ready to start it all over again. And if we can get a little leisure time every now and then, we think it's worthwhile if we can only pay the bills. And we are having some political considerations being made, and these policies that are being discussed as a result of that indicates that there's going to be an initiative, an effort made to try to see if you can take the money, taxation, and not get the representation that you want or that you need or require. They're going to cause more suffering by causing certain programs to have a little less money, you know, and that's okay. It doesn't affect where the money's going to go. The money wants to go to those who got money, a whole bunch of money. And then they want the baddest military on the face of the earth to dare anybody to ever threaten them. And the baddest man in the park is the President of the United States. Now, this isn't a laughing matter, ladies and gentlemen, because the rest of the world is going to suffer if these decisions go forward the way they are. And I personally say that they should not go forward the way that they are. I'm saying that the millions and billions, should I say, of people who are suffering because of the lack of the essentials necessary for life is not just a reflection on them, it's a reflection on all of us. It says that we didn't have the stamina. It says we didn't have the compassion. We didn't have the empathy. We didn't have the sympathy. We didn't have the nothing that could reach out to humanity and do our part. We just became selfish. More of me, more of I. Basically, what it's saying about all of us is that we talk about how the super wealthy live, or how they want to get all the money to themselves, when in reality, in our own way, we act the same way. We can't be up there where they are, but in comparison to some of the suffering that people go and experience in this world, where we are is just as high as far as they're concerned as those are above us. So we are all in this. And what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that the struggle is going on. But it would appear to me that we who are down at this lower level, who feel the pain, who can see what the trillionaires and billionaires and how they don't care about any of us. We can see that. They don't care about us. Michael Jackson said it. They don't care about us. We can see that. They don't care about us. The president walks and lies to us and have all the people in politics, in Congress, falling right in line with him, except maybe one or two here and there. Everybody else falling right in line. Right in line. Don't care how wrong it might be, or how degrading it might be. They are falling right in line. And we look at that, we see that. And so the challenge becomes to us, what are we going to do? Are we going to fall in line? Or are we going to be bigger than that? Are we going to fix this? I say we should fix this. Now, what am I basically saying? I'm saying we don't want to be to those people who are suffering worse than we are. We don't want to be any more to them than we want those above us to be to us. So we're just going to reject that. And we're going to just stop being bad. But we're not just going to stop doing things. We're going to fix this. And we can't fix it trying to outsmart the rich. We can't do that. We have to be wise. What is it that the rich, the not so rich, the just making it, and those who can't hardly make it at all, what do they all want? They want their dreams to come true. Every last one of them want their dreams to come true. And what does that mean? First of all, what does that entail? It means basically that they gotta survive. Survive. That's the first thing, survive. Now that's all of us, from the rich all the way down to the brokenhearted. And what does survival, what are those things that are essential for survival? Outside of the body, outside of the oxygen that we get in the air and water. What are the essentials? They are food and clothing and shelter. These things are essential for survival. Education will guide us out of darkness, out of ignorance. Essential for survival. Health care to protect us in times of, I mean, right on the money. Every last one of us. That's what every last one of us, top to the bottom, wants that. So, if this is what we all require, then let us, who are going to take over this thing, make sure that we guarantee that to every last person on earth, from the richest person on earth to the person on earth that you don't even want to recognize as a person. Yes. All of those things, let's guarantee that to one another. And first of all, we've met that. We've met that, but how do we do that is your question. Since I'm talking about changing things. Well, let me ask you this. How is it done now? We got the resources, that's obvious. We got the labor, we got all the manufacturers and the distribution and stuff like that. We all got that set up. What are usually the complications that prevents people from having these things? And once we ask that question, we look for the answer, and the answer will say, well, they don't have the money. Some say, well, why don't they have the money? We don't have the jobs. Well, we don't have the job. Well, we don't have the need. All of these things come into play. And so, because we're going to fix this thing, we look at it like this. Well, we know who makes the stuff. We do. Well, there are people who don't have money. They don't have money because they don't have jobs. So let's make that move. Let's give them jobs. Give all of them jobs, jobs that they dream of, jobs that give them their biggest desire. And if they need education, we're going to make sure they get that education and put them in those jobs. So they will be a participation in the creative process. We do that. And then you say, well, what about the money? How are you going to do that? And we say, well, this is the way we're going to do that. Since everybody, just like if you're going to have a commitment to the military where everybody got to go to the military. Well, everybody indulges in this thing in life, in the creative movement, positive direction of life. Everybody participates in that. But the joy of it is that they do it in the capacity that they choose, something that they love. Where they need additional education, it's easy to get because they want it. That's no problem. And then actually indulging themselves, making it possible for the abundance of the materials that's necessary can be there, can be actuated into manifestation of all that we have just described. And you don't need money. Because now that everybody participated, then everybody were partners in the Creator's nest. So we all own it, and you don't buy what you own. You just access it as you need, want, or desire. Now, that means that the richest person on the face of the earth today, under that type of system, can live richer than he's ever lived before. That means that the person that you don't even want to, so poor, you don't even want to consider him as a person, can live just as, if they choose, if they so desire, could live just as they want, whatever it is. And that is magnificent to me, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm saying to you, we can listen to people out there talking about this money, talking about killing people, talking about warring, talking about robbing other nations and dictatorships and buying countries and all of these kinds of things, trying to amass resources to say we are somebody. We don't have to do that stuff anymore. We can do our part here and become monumental as far as life is concerned and bubble over with such glowiness to the rest of the world won't be trying to fight us, trying to take what we got. They want to know how in the world can we get there. And hey, what do you think that has done? Open the door for our lives to just bubble out, and all of a sudden the whole world begins to bubble out, and all of a sudden, woo! It's like Christmas time. We did it. We changed the way that things are done. You and I. Because what? We didn't get so angry that we want to condemn these who only use the system the way it was set up to do what they've done. And we don't have to think we're so important anymore than others who have experienced under us as we have experienced under these. No, we are all caught up in that, but we are freeing each other because that's what it's all about. And I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. It's really been a great time. Bye-bye.